Yeah, whenever you're ready. So, pretty straightforward. Basically, this is just kind of the worksheet. Essentially, I create, or honestly, I found, and then just filled in my own information. It was a blank sheet. Pretty straightforward so that kids can kind of do this. I'm actually incorporating this with the Google Slides site thing, since I'm doing static electricity. It's kind of a hands-on experiment time for the kids. But the purpose of it is a Mylar orb, which Mylar tinsel is what you commonly use for tinsel on a Christmas tree. So I've already created my orb because it's really hard to make this, honestly, when I have like big fat clumsy fingers and I can't really like tie tiny knots with tiny strings. So I went ahead and made it, but it's just simple bright star icicle tinsel, and you need PVC pipes. So the cool thing about this one for me was the experiment originally calls for just a 1-inch pipe. Pretty straightforward. All you do is use 1-inch PVC pipe and use the Mylar tinsel. But there's a lot of variables you can change. For this purpose, I'm utilizing different types of PVC. So I'm going to use different sizes to see if that affects the static capabilities, to see if it can float longer with different size pipes. But you can use all kinds of different things. There's tons of different types of Mylar tinsel. So you can try thicker Mylar tinsel, lighter Mylar tinsel, different colors to see if that affects the static electricity. So a lot of variables you can honestly approach in the classroom whenever you're utilizing this. But for the purpose of this, just essentially going to use different PVC pipe. Straightforward. Saw me looking like a goof earlier if you were here, rubbing it in my head. You can use other materials as well. But for us, we're just going to take the PVC pipe and rub it in. I'm going to rub it in my hair since it's slightly clean. I'm gonna rub it in my head to create the static electricity. But you could also try different materials. You could use plastic on plastic, you could use wool, you could use cotton, you name it. So there's a lot of different variables you can adjust during this experiment with your class. But we'll just kind of go through it. So we have a 1-inch PVC pipe, a 1/2-inch PVC pipe, and then a 1.5-inch PVC pipe. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and get started. So the cool thing is I kind of envision this as a group of students. That way you can give each one of them a task. You can have like a recorder, you have a stop keeper, you know, if you have a clock in a room or if you have stopwatches, that's very simple. Trying to create all variables where they're similar among the items, so you're only changing the pipe. Things like rubbing it in your head for 15 seconds specifically. Or you could even change the variable of that if you wanted to. There's just a lot of different kind of routes you can go. But to kind of illustrate, let's see, who am I going to pick on? Justin. Can I utilize you as a tool? Is that okay? All right.
My hair?
Yes, that would be great. So Justin, I'm going to need you to take this PVC pipe and I want you to rub it in your head. Just back and forth. Just back and forth. Create static.
I love that I'm on camera doing this.
That's the purpose of it.
How long do I need to do it for?
That's good. Okay. Now, hold the PVC pipe out in one hand. I want you to take this hand, and I want you to hold the Mylar tinsel over the pipe, and then drop it. Oh. So it created some static electricity. What's really cool is, oh, sorry. Let me try this. Okay. So, it's another great illustration for you. Thank you, Justin. So, let me see if it does in my, I have more here, so it kind of makes it a little easier. So if I take this, and it should propel it to flow, which is really cool.
That's so cool.
So, kind of cool concept to see, like, you can use different pipes to see if different ones can create different static amounts. Just because they're larger surface areas, you know, it's not quite as big of an object. Like, why to... The hardest thing I noticed with the 1/2-inch pipe was it had a natural attraction to me because I'm a larger object than this pipe. But when I start using larger pipes, it wants to kind of bounce over them instead. See, it kind of does the same thing with the 1/2-inch pipe as it did earlier with Justin's. I haven't tried the 1.5, so this is going to be the end. It's really big. Very sorry.
What song did we have playing?
What?
She was thinking of a song.
Yeah, to go with his.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh.
And this one's so large, I don't know if it necessarily.
Ooh,
There it goes.
well, that's cool.
So it's cool. I mean, it just creates, it's showing you the effects of protons, neutrons, electrons, mainly electrons and their transfer. Yes, electrons and their transfer, to see how those different kind of reactions create static electricity instead of just using a typical balloon. You can use a balloon too. That was the other cool thing. You could utilize balloons versus PVC pipes. And yeah, and then that way kids can create predictions based upon which pipe they think is going to allow it to float. They can create predictions. My question was kind of, will the PVC pipes make the Mylar utensil float? And then beyond that, which PVC pipe will make it float the longest? So I predicted it would be the 1-inch pipe. And just from my little rough estimates, it kind of seems like the 1-inch pipe works well. The best out of the 3, but yeah, that's great. Thank you.